bevo.com.
A lot of companies say they've got, they're really focused on innovation. It's become such a buzzword that they have to now say it. But when you probe a little bit further, what they mean is they've got a sort of a suggestion box, and that suggestion box gets checked once every 2 months. And so, how do you actually implement and incorporate a sort of a really good innovation culture within an organisation?
I must say, the first thing I will say is that sort of it doesn't come naturally in a big company innovation culture, because by definition everyone's in their silos. Things are going well by definition, so people just continue doing what they sort of get into the non-creative mode. So it's a very, very conscious. It's got to be very consciously striven for innovation in a big company. But and it's difficult to subscribe what exactly would work. But for me, very much, I think just allowing people the freedom. I think however big your company is, you've still got small pockets. So you basically, there's a sort of, I suppose, Jack Welch model slightly, that you create little pockets that they behave like they're a small business. And they've got the big sort of umbrella organization over them, basically. A bit like a sort of federal structure. So everyone works as if they're small. So once you get that, this is a small business feeling, people start behaving differently. Once you give that people, also, letting people gravitate towards areas they like as well. People just we all get like that, I think. I've seen myself get like that. Once you are given a structure, everyone gets complacent. It's just the sort of lowest common denominator in a way. And I think if you remove the structure, if you allow the flexibility, people by definition get more agile.
Yeah, that's interesting, because a lot of organisations feel that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So how do you actually break up the organisational structure to create that sort of, that energy and that innovation?
Well, I think, as they say, the first thing is awareness. So once you become aware that there's sort of chains of command, there's traditional departments, so traditional silos, actually kill creativity. They box people in. People become very internally focused. I remember seeing that at Coffee Republic. It just, as soon as we got a big head office, all you felt you had to do was just turn up at the head office, because that was work. And for me as the entrepreneur, work was the stores every morning. I wouldn't mind if no one came to the office, but they spent all morning in the store seeing what's wrong, what can we do better. And people get very head office obsessed. There's this concept of that you've got your face to your face to your boss and your back to your customer in a way. And just once you become aware of that, I think it's a big step to realize not to become so internally focused. And the only way not to be internally focused is not to have these enormous chains of command. Just have smaller groups that you can meet outside, be out there where the customer is. And that's how you get creative, because you don't get creative sitting in an office.
So create small sort of guerrilla teams that sort of are customer facing within a large organisation?
Exactly, because at the end of the day, any business is by definition divided into sort of guerrilla teams. Be it if it's a product business, they all work on one product. So why don't you treat that one product within a big organization as if it's just a small startup, it's a small business. And all they do is they have all the advantages, which is why I say entrepreneurship is so great, is then you can, the bank manager is there in the business, the distribution is there in the business. Yeah. It's wonderful. With Skinny Candy, I sold to Glisten PLC, we did a joint venture 50-50. And I'm seeing that now, and I go to board meetings, and if we're creative, whereas before I was creative on my kitchen table, so, great, come up with new products, but by the time you do it, implementation will take so long, it will be so costly. They've got the factories, they've got the distribution, they've got the people there. So you just fit in that creativity. So it gets implemented much faster, as long as there's a sort of openness about it.
bevo.com